So we have slope of the secant, tangent, and normal. Slope of the secant, tangent, normal. Slope of the secant is old school slope. Fancy way of saying it. Slope of the secant is old school slope. F of A plus H is really just a fancy way of saying Y2. F of A is a fancy way of saying Y1, and H is just the difference between the x's. So H represents the distance between the x's. Y2 and Y1 are just F of A plus H and F of A. So slope of the secant is really just a fancy way of saying slope. The limit of the slope of the secant gives you the slope of the tangent line at a particular point. We learned about tangents well before we started calc. And you heard the word tangent way back when we talked about sine and cosine. If you go back to the thought about tangent as sine and cosine, oh my gosh, it's broken again. Tangent is sine over cosine. Not even. So the tangent is sine over cosine, right? Sine is the y coordinates, where cosine is the x. The tangent is the change in y over the change in x as x gets really small. So a tangent, way back on the unit circle, is the same tangent meaning that we have now. Is the comparison of the change in y over the change in x. So a tangent line on the unit circle can kind of represent the same tangent we're talking about now. And if you go back to tangents, if you think about geometry, you had tangents to circles, and you had chords. A tangent only ever touched a circle once. A calculus tangent line only ever touched once on that curve, or represent a slope at one point on the curve. So the words in the vocab that you already know are just getting a more meaningful meaning. A normal line is the perpendicular tangent line. Normal line is just another way of saying the line perpendicular to the tangent. So if you go back to perpendicular, lines that are perpendicular to each other have opposite reciprocal slopes. So what we're going to do is follow our same rules. So we're going to write an equation for the normal line to the curve at that point. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the limit as h approaches 0. Of f of x plus h Do you want to plug it in with the number for x, or do you want to plug it in or do it in general? We don't need it again. So do you want to do it with the number or in general? So this is the general form. The form where you're finding it at a particular point would be to replace every x with a 1. Are we okay with that? 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay. That is the slope of the tangent. The slope of the norm is the opposite. So if this is negative, it's positive, 2, 1/2.
Why is that? Why is that?
Because the normal line is perpendicular. So two lines that are perpendicular to each other have opposite reciprocal slopes. We only know the x value, right? So in order to find the line, I need f of 1. Well, we kind of found f of 1, right? We found it over here. F of 1 is 3. So to find the equation of the normal line, we call normal lines NL and tangent lines TL. It'll be y minus 3 equals 1/2 x minus 1. And if it's more satisfying to you, it becomes 1/2 x minus 1/2 plus 3. So 3 minus 1/2 is 2.5. So where I was starting to get excited is that this is the connection and how you know all physics is really based on calculus, which is that the average velocity, or when you talk about average speed in physics, you're actually talking about the slope of the secant. Talk about average velocity or average speed in physics, you're really talking about the slope of the secant. If you talk about instantaneous velocity, instantaneous speed is the slope of the tangent line. So if this represented the path of a particle falling off of a building that miraculously could fly, so like, I don't know, Superman, he's unconscious, he's flying down, and then, oh my gosh, he got his powers back just as he was going to die. That would be his instantaneous velocity. Let's say, whatever, that 2 meters above the ground or 1 meter above the ground in 2 seconds before he lands. This would be his instantaneous velocity. So that -1/4 and that positive or -1, that would be its instantaneous velocity. Does that kind of make sense? Yeah.
I don't really get what's like the difference between, like, isn't the formula for like the average velocity the same as the instantaneous velocity? Like, I don't.
The limit.
But like, if you're trying to find the average velocity, like, would you just, if you're not finding the limit, would h just stay in the problem?
Yeah. So like, think about if you go back to problems 1 through 6 on yesterday's homework from the textbook. Those are all average velocities because they were like finding 3 and 1. So you were finding the average velocity from time 1 to time 3.
But I used the slope formula for that.
And that is exactly what the slope of the secant is.
Okay.
Slope of the secant is a fancier way of saying slope.
So instead of, like, could I put this formula on the paper set equal to the slope formula, like the y.
They're
Like
the
I
same
just
thing.
did,
So like, I'm gonna draw it. So, we shall call this point A. The height of A equal that of A, right? Because we took A and we plugged it in. So this is kind of like y1 and y2. I mean, x1, sorry. Y1. So that is our initial starting point. What I'm doing now is I am traveling some distance away. We're going to call that travel distance h. I don't know what h is.
Oh, so h is a change in x.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
That's why this denominator is h. It's the distance from x2 to x1.
So technically you could replace h with delta x?
Yes.
Or is that not work? Okay.
Same thing.
So that means the reason why you still have x in the tangent equation is because you're only finding the slope at one point, not the secant of the two separate points.
Your h in tangent, you're taking the limit as h is going to 0. So what we're trying to do is divide by the infinitesimally smallest distance. So right here, h is pretty far away. So what we do for tangents is we make h right there, as close as it can be without being there. So it's kind of like saying, okay, my hand is away from the wall. I want to cut the distance my hand is from the wall in half. And I want to keep cutting it in half. Will I ever actually get to the wall if I only ever cut the distance in half? That's what a limit is. It's like cutting the distance in half forever. We never actually get there, but we get so darn close we can approximate it.
Okay.
So that's what we're doing here.
Okay.
We're making the distance of the denominator so tiny, it no longer matters.
Okay.
Where like here, you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I totally see how that sloped because the distance away is pretty big. Here, the limit makes the distance away super small.
Okay.
That's the difference.
So example one, you could technically use that derivative, like take the derivative of it to check the work, right? Because I tried it with 2 and 3 and it doesn't work. So.
I know. Stop trying to put your physics sheet in my account. It's the only reason I hate that you learn it so quick over there.
I learned it on the second day of school.
I know. Okay, 16a, it says find the average speed, right?
Yeah.
So that means that this is kind of like A, and this is A plus H. Because this is an interval, not a coordinate point in the brackets, right? So what we're doing is, this is kind of like, if you want to say it, x1, x2. So your denominator would be 1 plus h minus 1. So what happens? The denominator truly just becomes h. So that's where this is coming from. That's why I kind of end with this, because it kind of is like the big connector of it all. So f of a plus h, in this case, so speed, anybody know it from physics? Or, oh, never mind, I put it on here. Y equals 16t squared. So what we're doing is we're saying, okay, we're going to go from 16 at 1 plus h squared to 16 at 1. I don't know what h is, but we know it's there. So that becomes 16, 1 plus 2h plus h squared. You're going to get so good at foiling 1 plus h, you're going to be like, got that. And then you get 16 plus 32h plus 16h squared minus 16 all over h. Bang, bang. I lost my h squared. Boom, boom, boom. So again, we don't have a particular h. H is some distance away.
So
So,
just leave it like that?
yes,
Okay.
because then you could say, find the average speed of the rock over the interval 1 to 1 plus h when h is 2 seconds later. So what that would be is it'd be finding at 1 and 3, because you plug 2 in for h and you get 3. So that h represents some time later. Okay, part B, find the speed of the following rock at t equals 1 second. So now, the difference is, I want to know instantaneous. I want to know what is happening at 1 second. So I'm going to take the limit as h approaches 0 of the slope of the secant was that our pen?
Yeah.
Holy moly. I have a worksheet for you. So you don't have to take on the book or anything. Somewhere. Can I send a picture of the worksheet on your mind in like 2 seconds? I have no idea where it went. I definitely photographed it.
Worksheet have that on.
I'll send a picture right now. I have Vanessa. Yes, dear. Oh, that's totally fine. Yeah. Yeah. You're totally fine. That's like what they're for.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because honestly, on my enrichment days, usually I just have kids take makeup tests. So, like, I'm just, like, sitting out there. So I could really help you. Yeah, or even if, like, how, like, today, like, if there was still 1 or 2 homework problems I didn't have a chance to do, but you still want to go over, then yeah, perfectly fine with me. I want to use that to the best of our ability. That's McBride. So did you look at your name list and my name list? And I gave a QRT slip to you for Jimmy Sauber. How lucky are you? Oh, his name's not even on it. My name list? I have Vanessa Helen. It was in my homework folder. Okay. No, it should have a bunch. Come on in, girls. All right, I have kids showing up. I gotta go. Bye. All right, guys.
I just came to bring your show.
Okay. You're fine.
What are we doing here?
whatever. Well, I brought in like 3 board games. I have no idea. I wasn't here yesterday. And
Yeah, I was
like,
supposed to be in Miss Potts, so we didn't sign up for anything, but they didn't know I have a couple weeks, so.
yeah. And that's what we were doing with like our TFIN kids. So, like,
Oh,
we
really?
got,
So you were stuck with something too?
so I have no idea what I said this half. So I brought board games. We can play apples to apples. I don't know. I don't know what else to do. What's up? Yep. I'm McBride. What's your name?
Noah.
Your name was on my list. I have no idea. And then, like, I guess they put everybody in a room. So if
Yeah,
even if
they
you didn't sign up for a room, you're in a room.
You either had a study hall, if you sign up for study hall, they put you in your study hall, but if you didn't sign up for anything, they just put you somewhere.
So, yep. That's where we are.
I would have signed up for something, but I didn't know we were on. How many meetings were supposed to be?
8. Mm-hmm. Sorry, attendance is awesome. I really don't want to write on the kid on Friday. I mean, does anybody have something else they want to play? Like, figure at least if you play apples to apples, you're doing something. We're not allowed to let you sleep. What? Yeah, you can't sleep and you still can't be on your bed. So, those are like the only 2 rules I was given. I have categories like life and apples to apples. You've homework already. I guess I just gave homework. Yep, I just gave up health. And I have algebra. My kids have homework now too. I guess my kids have homework right now too.
You only have had 1 homework assignment out of 2?
Mm-hmm. I mean, like today, like it's period 3-ish.
I was gonna say, hey, Josh, got homework? This is Thursday. No.
Who am I missing? Missing.
Do we have to turn these into you?
I'm gonna take them so I have them, but.
I don't understand why we're not allowed to have club meetings.
But the cheerleaders are allowed to be with the shop.
That's what I said. I said, how isn't that technically? Yeah, because they were saying it's because you guys get paid to do the clubs, but Miss Shaw gets paid to.
Get paid through the school district to do the club.
That's
Paid to do Teachers Night.
That's why
I do that because we do it for you.
Yeah, they said that teachers get paid for.
We have to pay to have the teachers night here. We have to raise. That's why we did the volleyball game. We have to raise $1,800 for you to have that club.
Yeah, but you can't have. I still have to turn in my paper for it.
Soon. We're running out of days.
I feel like that would be better to have it during CFP than to have it after school because the students are actually in school.
Because I work right after school, so I'm not able.
A lot of kids miss our meetings because they can't, and then like we have to give out points, and we have to like because it only takes so many kids to every field trip.
Yeah, so then I won't be able to go to those because I work at 3, so that's right after school, so it's not like.
Good morning, Church of Houston. Today is Friday, September 27th. Will you please bow your heads for a moment of silent meditation? Will you please rise, pledge allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our lunch today is pizza and french fries. And here are your morning announcements.
Trying to think like what I can show you for this one.
Attention for HOCO Spirit Week next week. Monday is PJ Day. Tuesday is tie-dye. Wednesday is Way Back Wednesday.
Hi.
Thursday is Tiki / Hawaiian. And Friday is Learn the Gold. It is $1 a day, and the proceeds benefit student government and the Helping Hands Project. Any 9th grade student who wishes to run for an officer, position for 9th grade student government, please come see Mrs. Gordon in room 106 to receive the form. Forms will be due by next Friday, October 4th. The Lady Bucks varsity soccer team traveled to Monessen yesterday for a late
We're
afternoon game.
winning this year.
It was a defensive battle with Alyssa Rice finding the back of the net late in the first half with a pass from Ashley Horvath. That concluded the scoring for both teams as the Lady Bucks walked out with a 1-0 win. Keely Acorn and Maddie Smith rotated as keeper and recorded the shutout. Will the following students please see Mrs. Lucas at the end of QRT today? Seth Musher, Nathan Bordley, Emma Lyle, Nick Taylor, Kate Welsh, and Kate Hainsberg. Should anyone interested in signing up for a winter sport should do so outside of the cafeteria. Our Hawaiian homecoming is October 5th from 7 to 10 p.m. Please pick up the dance forms in the office. Forms must be submitted by October 4th at 0 to attend the dance. Cost is $10 a person. It is $5 for homecoming court and escorts. Yesterday, Jack Risco and Spencer Kane participated in the boys AA Woodfield Finals in PIAA state qualifier at Allegheny Country Club. At the end of the day, both qualified for the state semifinals by finishing in the top 18 of the field. Jack Risco shot a 6 over 76 to finish in 7th place overall, and Spencer Kane came in 3rd place and was the day's bronze medalist with a score of 73. Jack and Spencer will be competing for the spot at finals in 2 weeks. Congratulations. And this concludes your morning announcements. Have a fantastic Friday.
I also have, do you want to play a game? Do you want to color? I have adult coloring books and colored pencils and markers.
I got nothing. I had the announcements that I was going to be doing.
I feel bad. I don't want you to have to study all that before and not fun. You want to go walk outside? That's what they're doing. Do you just want to sit here and do nothing? Like, I don't care. It's supposed to be fun for you. Not for me, for you. What's fun? What do you want to do that's fun? I got nothing. Like, I don't want you to like have a bad first fun Friday. Planet. I wonder what she's doing. She has chicks out there, so I don't know they're good. No, he's really not bad. He's really good. What are your kids doing? So they're actually playing you now. Okay. I have like 5 kids. Like they didn't sign up to do anything. Oh my God, I hear Jimmy. I have board games. I told them if they want to go outside, a bunch of kids just went outside. Like, I don't know. You're good. Okay, bye. The kids are playing Uno. So you're drawing. Are you doodling? Do you want markers and colored pencils?
I just need to know what the
Want markers and colored pencils?
Healy.
Both colored pages?
Actually, yeah, idea.
I have a whole bunch of fall ones.
The what? The Monday.
They're all.
I've been trying hard in the
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, you can take like one of each of these. We'll go through the fall ones.
But every time I put it on the thing, it comes out pixelated.
I'll help you today. I have 6th grade library duty again. I just like find like, I found fall ones, and also like when I have real QRT, and like I have my roster kids, not math QRT, this is what I make my kids do. Because I'm like, you don't have homework, you have to color. Well, like, oh, I don't want my kids to talk.
Really?
I make it quality. Because it's not fair to the kids that are, like, you're trying to actually do work right now in here. And if, like, all the kids around you were talking, like, that's so distracting.
Yeah.
Or like if she's coloring, I'd connect 4 on the Promethean board. I'm like, Connect 4.
Now go talk down here.
Oh my god, you guys look at me like I'm crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You, too.